Hello and welcome back everyone. Andy Bryan here again from the Soul Pathway, and today within this video I wanted to speak with you all about healing, and I'm going to be looking at healing our past lives, ancestral healing, as well as shedding a light on individual and soul wounds that we need to heal within ourselves, because I believe we have to really become aware of all the different type of wounds that we have in our lives at this present moment, so that we can heal, we can reintegrate, and we can become whole within ourselves, so that we can live a happy and prosperous life in many ways. So I wanted to first of all start off with past life healing and wounds, because if we look at our past lives, much of our past lives, come into our present lives. And for those of you who don't believe in past lives, this video is not for you. But for those of you who are connected with past lives, you may start to realize that some of the wounds that you have in your present life in this day and age are showing up for you at the moment. And it's really important for you to go back and look at some of the past life wounds that have come into this present life that are preventing you from being happy, content and fulfilled in your life and what it is that you do. And I wanted to speak about one of my own past lives really, and look at one of my past lives being when I was an Australian Aboriginal, and I was living off the land. I very much had my own space where I could live off the land with nature, with the animals. I feel that's very much why I'm connected with nature and animals today, really. But one of the biggest wounds and visions, more importantly, visions I had, was that I was living off the land. And one day, the white man came and stole my land, took it away from me, and I had nothing left. Much like Aboriginals today, they very much find themselves secluded from everyday society because, in quote unquote, they don't fit in. We know that not to be true at all, but they're very much living their own lives with what is true and right for them. But what did it bring up for me? What did it allow me to understand within my own present life? One of the things that I came to realize was that I'm often thinking that, or I had been thinking before going through some of this healing, that I will have something in my life and soon enough it will be taken away from me. And just imagine how that affects your life in this moment. In this present moment, you can look back on that past life and bring it into the present, and if you think that everything that you have in your life is going to be taken away from you in an instant, you may be wondering why you're even wanting to attain that in your life at all. So that can cause you to feel a sense of lack, unworthy, and even what is the point in attaining it, because soon enough, it's going to go anyway. And it's quite sad to have these thoughts and feelings, really. But by noticing where it comes from, where that wound comes from, we can come to understand it within ourselves, and we can begin to reintegrate and heal. What does it mean for us? What are we not noticing about ourselves and our own lives with, maybe in my situation, this sense of lack, not good enough, unworthiness, and the fact that it could be taken away from me at any time? For me, it's always come down to money. You don't think I was worthy, you don't think I was good enough, so always had this lack of money. And I realise I am worthy, I'm good enough, I do deserve the happiness, the prosperous life that I believe each and every one of us can attain if we only decide to look within ourselves. But I want you to think about how past life healing can support you. What are some of the repeated experiences that are going on in your life that could potentially come from past life experiences, past life wounds, being brought up into this present moment in order for you to heal, for you to reintegrate, in order for you to love yourself? And know that it is always a process of healing, but it starts with understanding. And those ancestral wounds, or more importantly, at the moment I'm speaking about past life wounds, those past life wounds are really important and essential to understand, especially when you have lived many lives. I do believe I am very much an old soul. I've lived many lives, and in many ways that could be another reason why I could have many wounds that I've needed to heal from past lives in order to have the prosperous life that I'm leading, or that I'm striving for, in each and every facet of my life. But think about those past lives. If you need someone to look at your past lives, I'm not the person to, help you look at your past lives in order to heal. But I can help you look at those conditions and patterns of behavior that are preventing you from moving forward in your life at the moment, so that we can heal those wounds, so that you can be happy, content and fulfilled within yourself. But that takes that deep dive look. But I'm here to support and guide you on your journey and soul pathway. Now I wanted to speak about ancestral wounds, because ancestral wounds are very, very interesting. We speak all the time in the spiritual communities about past lives. What has your past life been? How can you relate that to your current experiences? And that's all well and good. It's fantastic. It's good fun looking at past lives as well at times. But often we don't look at ancestral healing and our ancestral patterns. And the truth is that conditions of behavior and patterns have been passed down from generation to generation. And that truly does affect us in the present moment. So what I want you to do is if you're a woman, what I'd love for you to do is look at the relationship you have with your mother. What has that relationship been like for you? And as you go back, look at that and reflect upon it. I want you to ask yourself what it is that you can learn from that, understand from that, and heal from within, so that again you can bring wholeness into your life. You can heal that wound and you can bring peace to who you are. It's all about that peace and prosperity within yourself. Living in the moment, living in the now, and not holding on to that baggage or those wounds or that hurt that you're bringing into these present moments. But that can come down through ancestral patterns as well. If you're a man, what I want you to do is look at the relationship we have with your father. What has that relationship been like? As you look at that, what I want you to do is look at the wounds that they may hold within themselves. As you look at those wounds, you'll start to realize that those wounds may be present within yourself. You can also look back at your grandfather, your great-grandfather. What upbringing have they had? What wounds are they passing down to you? And what can you learn about them in order to heal? And I'll be honest with you, there's much healing that I've had to go through in that process myself. You can think about ancestral wounds, not specifically through the bloodline, but also through conditional patterns of men and women. What of those archaic patterns and conditions being passed on to you as women, or even us as men? And how are we still living through those patterns of behavior? Because again, they can be wounds within ourselves where we feel we're not good enough, we're not worthy. But it's essential for us to go back, reflect upon what that might be in order to heal, so that we can begin loving ourselves, so that we live that life we want to lead, so that we can, live with joy, live in the moment, and be compassionate towards one another. The truth is, all of us have got so much to work through that we need to allow others to go through their own process of healing at the same time. And that brings us onto our own individual soul wounds. How do our own individual soul wounds become present in our own experiences? And I believe in many ways they can come through ancestry, ancestral patterns coming through the bloodline show up and become present as our own wounds. Definitely 100%. Because, their old situations and old experiences that they've gone through become forever present in our own lives and our upbringing. It can be seen as that perpetual cycle that goes over and over again from generation to generation to generation. So they can become your individual soul wounds that you're here to heal. And this is what I love about each and every one of us. We're all unique. We're all incredible in our own ways. If only we knew and understand that about ourselves, we start to love all those different aspects of ourselves. What I would say is, know that you're not your wounds. No, you're not your past. No, you're not even your past lives, And know that at the same time, you're not your mother, you're not your father. You're not your grandmother or even your grandfather either, So you don't need to hold the mantle for them. Be your own self, your own individual self. Know that that is all right, that is okay. But love yourself in the process and the moment of healing, because that is what is essential and that is what is important for you. Because when we go through these dark nights of the soul, we're healing all these different wounds that come up for us, become present. We can completely lose ourselves. That's when we need to allow ourselves that time and that space to reintegrate, love those different aspects of ourselves, and call upon others to support and guide us. And as I said earlier in this video, that is what I'm here to do and assist you with. I'm here as your guide and your mentor to help you connect with your soul as an individual. And that means looking at your ego, yourself, and your shadow. Your shadow is what you need to shine a light upon, because your shadow is where your suppressed emotions and experience are held. These are where your wounds lie. So you need to look within that. Be courageous enough to say, this is my past, but I do in some ways have to reflect upon my past in order to heal it, love those different aspects of myself, and shift that consciousness around it so that we can raise our vibration, so that we can be the unique and incredible and amazing human beings. And with that, I want to say thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you found it valuable, found it to be useful as you connect with the different levels of healing that you go through. What I'd love to hear from you is, what have you gone through in terms of your past life? What does your past life present to you, or some of them that have shown up for you? Have there been some ancestral patterns that you may want to share, that you've shifted away from and you've started to live the truth of who you are? I'd love to hear from you. Please leave them in the comments below, and I look forward to interacting and engaging with you. But with that, I wish you all the best on your journey and soul pathway. If you'd like any personal support, please feel free to reach out to me at andy@awakenyoursoulpathway.com. And I wish you all the best. Thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.